A week ago, I talked about hitting the book section of a thrift shop that's nearby, and I finally went there tonight, and I spent 3 hours in there. No, yeah, you didn't hear that wrong. I spent 3 hours. My feet are killing me. Anyways, I came up with this haul right here. So you can say I found a book or two, so let's get into it. Now, the strange irony of all this is that I probably spent the first 2 hours with one particular book in my hand because it was almost in like mint condition, and it was like a $20 plus book, and it was a book I was going to buy new, like very soon. Like it was a book I've been keeping my eyes on this particular book for maybe, I'm going to say 15 years. Please don't topple over. It's called, bam, Black Company by Glen. Dungeons and Dragons used to have a magazine, Dungeons for Game Masters, and then Dragon, which is like extra stuff for the Dungeons and Dragon tabletop game. Black Company was an article in there where they were converting some of the stuff inside this, and I thought it was a tabletop game, or I thought Glen Cook was maybe a game designer. I didn't know. I didn't have the context. When I read the article, I learned that it was actually a series of books, and now on BookTube, people talk about this a lot. It comes up on lists. I guess it's Grimdark. That's a thing. I didn't know it was a thing. Am I getting this wrong? Because I mean, I'm also noobish. You know what? I'm tempted to find the magazine. I'm gonna go find the magazine. It's gonna be a weird thing to do in the middle of this because I didn't plan for it, and I'm unpacking all of my books and magazines right now, but I know I just put all of the Dragon magazines on the shelf downstairs. I'll be right back. Here's the shelf of the Dragon magazines that I was collecting back in the day, starting at 226. I got August 2007 is when I stopped collecting. Now, somewhere in here is the Black Company. This is all the Paizo Publishing Adventure Paths. These are really fun. You know, I don't need to do this, but I'm going to. I should probably look it up online. You know, it's probably going to be easier, right? I'll be right back. All right, well, I couldn't find anything. I gave it my best shot. And now I don't know if it was an ad I saw for maybe the Green Ronin campaign, Mystic Vistas, I believe. I thought I owned the damn thing. I distinctly remember reading it as an article. In any case, that's how I know about Black Company. And so I've been keeping an eye on this. As I got it for a whopping simple price of $4.99 Canadian. I will show you what the tally is that I technically would have paid, although I got a discount. I went in there prepared, folks. And then I'm going to tally the cover price in Canadian to actually see how much I would have saved. This was a book that I was going to buy. This is on my wish list. All of the Black Company books were on my wish list. So look at the quality of this one though. It's like there's literally no crease on the spine, man. There's like this little flame, like this right here from the cover maybe being open and red. So it's just kind of got maybe some humidity, I don't know, curvature going on there. But if you look at the pages themselves, there's maybe some browning or yellowing here. Maybe it was like on a windowsill or something and got some sun here. But other than that, folks, man, it is like a solid. It was the first book I saw. I saw this and I was like, well, what? And I'm like, let's start. I got to get the $50. I got to about 2 hours and this was still the only book on my hands. You might say, how were you there for 2 hours? Well, because I would find some books, and then because I want to get the series, I might find like book 2 and 3, but I wouldn't find one. And this wasn't organized. This is a thrift shop, so these books are everywhere. You know, I sort of had to scan as I went, and I was kind of organizing the shelves for them. My OCD was kicking in because I'm like, for the love of God, I was using my phone to see like what's the reading order. I was trying to organize the series so that I could then go to that stack of books and see if I found them all or not. It was havoc. Okay. Anyways, and then I was finally like, look, I gotta go up because I had to go to stores to get some of my other boxes of books. I had to rush through the next hour, and strangely enough, in that hour, I got the rest of these 10 books. It was almost like, how did I not see this the first 10 times? I got a moth in here. That sucks. I mean, I'm saying 10 times almost as an exaggeration, but I really don't think it was. Let's go into the next 3 books because they're sort of related. This isn't a series that I would have picked up just because. But I did remember, I have a friend who is a high school teacher, and he was shocked by how much he enjoyed this game, this book series, after he had watched the movie, and then he read the books, and he actually said they're not really what you think they are. So of course, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, this was the shit. This is what everyone was talking about in the YA demographic. I'm saying 2004, that can't be right. Let me just check the print date of this book to see if I'm at least somewhat correct. 2008. Okay, that's we were still gaming during that time. So yeah, so it's like a 16-year-old memory. Yep. Where I'm just like, okay, I'll give it a shot. In any case, look at this. Look at the quality of this book. The spine, no creases. It's like a little bit of a bow, but it's not a crease, right? Pages, solid. Look at this, great. Even the page, like again, there's a little bit of yellowing, but not too much. $4.99, and it's got that nice matte-ish finish with some gloss over the emboss here. It's a nice cover. And so I found like a couple versions. I saw like maybe this version, but like the trade paperback, and I was like, should I get it? Should I read the first book? Like, see how I feel? Like, I really don't feel like this is gonna be for me, but I'm gonna trust my bro. And then I found this one right after. So I'm like, okay, there's at least 2 books here, so I'm gonna commit to this if I can find all the rest of the ones that I need. Now, this one, bit of bowing going on, a little bit more bowing. Some pages are definitely dinged here on the end right here. We got some warpage, and it's not in perfect condition in terms of just, you know, like I kind of do like my books pristine and stuff like that. But listen, for the price, man, you can't go wrong. There's a lot of scuffing on this one, and this one has a bit more of a, it's like a glossy finish. You can see the glare going on here. It's kind of a metallic feeling to it, which is strange. And there's a bit of a, like, you can tell there's like, it's just got, if you can hear that, it's got some stiffness. I'm not saying water damage because it's not warped enough. There's some stiffness going on in the spines and the curvature there. There's like some bowing going on here. So I feel like this is like moments away of maybe splitting, not ending up good. Look, I just did that split right there, and look what happened to the pages. So I think this was maybe just stored for too long and cracking, like I'm literally like there's no pressure put on the book. So I've already kind of done just enough damage to it that's bothering me. $4.99. You can't go wrong. It's the second book of the series, and then of course I found Catching Fire. So I was like, okay, well, that's the 3 books. Now I think there might be like a collection after this one. Pages are pretty solid on this one. These ones aren't even yellow on the side here. Really nice. No crease on the spine. These are red ones, man, and dropped off. That's nuts. $4.99 as well. Some scuffing here, but not like the second book. I mean, just only a little bit of a bendy warpage here in the corner. But no, man, this was good. It was a good kind of catch. It's a trilogy. If I don't like them, I can give them to one of my nieces and we'll just move on with life. But I'm gonna give them a shot. They can't be that long. It's YA, so it's probably gonna be a fast-ish read. So that's 4 books. Cover price on these ones, by the way, $12-ish Canadian for each of these. $4.99, right? Can't go wrong. Let's move on. We got this one. All right, so I mean, I know that I hadn't watched the movie, but I knew there was a movie, and I thought it was amusing the way it sounded, and I figured, why not? I do remember reading Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Not Pride and Prejudice. I think I might have read a bit of Pride and Prejudice, but I don't think I ever had to read it in school, and so I didn't. And then I figured if I just read Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, it was close enough. So that's what I did a long time ago as well. And we got Seth Grahame-Smith, author of Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. This one, $4.99, and again, check that quality out. Yes, some yellowing, sure. No real dings on the corners. The spine itself, slick. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, it's strange with this one because like it looks like there's scuffing on the edge here, and I don't know if that's by design or if it's legitimate scuffing, if that makes sense, right? Because like the book itself feels like it's got this aged look to it. It's got a matte finish. This one doesn't have that soft velvety feeling. This one has like a matte finish, but it has a bit of texture on it. Like there's a bit of a grip to it. It just feels like more parchmenty. Makes thematic sense. And I do like the back cover. The vampire. Look, it's gonna be amusing, okay? And for $4.99, you can't go wrong. Cover price of $15.50 in Canada, and so it's looking good. I mean, this is a crazy deal, folks. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next one. I would not have picked this one up because I wouldn't have even looked at this one had it not been for BookTube over the last, I would say, week. But I've been really watching, like catching up on a lot of booktubers talking about the hauls or just what they're reading or just going to their backlog and checking to see what they talked about in the past. So we got Cormac McCarthy, Blood Meridian. I've heard a lot of good things about this. I heard it's like pretty rough. Those who know the book know how to give a summary to this book better than I certainly do. I literally, it's like 48 hours of just constantly seeing this popping up on people's lists, either in their top 10s, what they're currently reading, what they're going to read, or fall read book piles. Like this has been coming up a lot, and so it was just like fresh of mind. I saw it and I was like, I'm just going to get it. This summary, for those of you who don't know what this book is about, it says, based on historical events that took place on the Texas-Mexico border in the 1850s, Blood Meridian is an epic novel that traces the fortunes of the Kid, a 14-year-old Tennessean who stumbles into a nightmarish world in which the market for Indian scalps is thriving. Folks, this is dark. There's some great reviews out there. It sounded dark and bleak as hell. I'm a fan of the 1800s like literature, and like I love Deadwood, the show. I wish they never had canceled it after season 2. It was so good. It's basically Sopranos in the Wild West. Amazing. It was amazing. And I always had this idea of something I wanted to write that was kind of in that era. I am writing something that's about an alien cowboy in that era. It's a little bit shenanigan-y, called Lone Stranger in any case. I'm kind of like playing around with some short stories. I think it's amusing. Yeah, I'm a fan of pulp westerns and just storytelling in that era. Now, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about how dark this might get, but I mean, I'm not squeamish about reading about that darkness, but I'm curious. Cormac McCarthy, let's check it out. And The Road comes up a lot. I saw 2 copies of The Road there, but the quality of the books, they were too banged up, so I'm going to give them another shot. I'll go back there sometime and I'll see. In any case, I talk about the quality. Perfect friggin' binding, like perfect spine. I mean, there's a bit of like creases on the corner just from like general, like, you know, table wear, I suppose, just kind of a little bit of bowing, but not much. No real yellowing. It's crazy, man. Folks, like this is crazy. This is a thrift shop. No warpage from like humidity or anything like that. The pages are still white and crisp. I mean, man, $4.99. Cover price of $17. I mean, this is like newer books. Inflation, man. The American dollar, Canadian dollar, it's like, it's been bad. So Books are expensive today, man. So this thrift shop haul was amazing. Now, here's an author that I've known about for at least 20 years. Before we used to go out to the clubs and parties and bars and stuff like that, I would hang out at this house where they were all reading Christopher Moore like crazy. I remember it's distinctly being these covers. I read Fluke, got it from the library back, again, this would have been 20 years ago. And my friend had Red Lamb and really loved it. And I remember him talking about scenes that were in here. For those of you who don't know what this is all about, the birth of Jesus has been well chronicled, as have his glorious teachings, acts, and divine sacrifice after his 13th birthday. And I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to spoil it for myself. I'm just going to get right into reading it. It's basically the story of Jesus, but he has a friend or something like that. I remember someone maybe called Biff or something, even though I might be making that up. I know there's a demon involved or something like that. And it's silly. Christopher Moore, if you're not familiar with Christopher Moore, I recommend him. I check him out. And listen, they're silly. And here's the thing. Again, great spine. Warpage on some of the pages, yes, sure. Outside of that little warpage going on there, which is fine, right? And the cover has, you can tell that there's just some humidity warping going on. But $4.99 cover price of this one would have been $21.95. I'm not sure when this one got printed, but I remember the covers. These were like the covers from like 20 years ago. Because like I was considering buying Christopher Moore, like getting the collection, but I want all the covers to match because they have to. Yeah, 2004. That would have been the era where we were drinking and partying a lot. Anyways, we're going to move on. I don't talk about that era. We got another one that I don't know why I've missed this. On my multiple passes of the horror shelf, there was only one shelf of horror this time around. I feel like they definitely like less books. There's a lot of books at this particular thrift shop. It's called Value Village. This particular branch had a massive book collection. I would say, I think I went there maybe 8 months ago, 12 months ago. Like I remember the fantasy section being a lot longer than the two shelves. I feel like it was like 4 shelves long. Now there was 2 when I was there, but I mean I circled the hell out of these 2 shelves, man. And the horror one was 1. I feel like maybe it was 2 before. In any case, I found The Walking Dead, The Road to Woodbury. Of course, Robert Kirkman, the creator of Walking Dead, and Jay Bonansinga. Now I remember this one coming up a while ago. The series had finished, and then 2012 this was talked about. And I mean the show, I hadn't made it to season 6 or 7. I don't know how many more seasons the show went on after that. Then I heard about a novelization, The Road to Woodbury. But $4.99 and cover price $17, $16.99. So there you go. Looking forward to reading this because I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead. I got all the trades. I don't think I read the last 4. Like literally, they've just been on my shelf, and I'm like, why am I not finishing the series? Because I don't want to end the series, the comic series that is. We're gonna move on. This is a strange one. I had to start. I was eager to get to the $50 mark, and because there was another deal of like buy 4 books and get the 5th free. I was like, am I gonna get to the cashier and then I'm just like, because I'm gonna get 2 of these books free, I'm not actually gonna make the $50 and I can't get the 20% off. My math brain was going crazy because like it's just nothing was really making sense. I was desperate, and I was under pressure because I had to like move. I had half an hour to move the hell on. So I found this one, and I'm like, at first I gave this one a couple passes. I was like, no, I'm not gonna get that because like I didn't understand what it was because I didn't really pull it out and then read the cover. And so it's a compilation anthology, and it's called Alien Contact. When I was a teenager, I was collecting alien abduction books. Like I got books that like I was intrigued by the stories of people who had alien encounters and stuff like that. And so I sort of thought this was just going to be another kind of that anthology. And no, when you pull out the cover, you're seeing some really like pretty well-known names in there. You got Orson Scott Card, you got Cory Doctorow, you got Neil Gaiman in there, Stephen King, Ursula Le Guin. Like it's crazy. And so when I saw all these names, I was like, oh, this is a collection of short stories about aliens and abductions and on contact. And I mean, yes. I mean, why the hell not? Yeah. I want to kind of and because it's got a perfect spine. It's perfect pages. Perfect. Look at this, man. This is crazy. I mean, I would have bought this if I was just like passing in through Indigo or something like that. And here's the thing, like back in the day, it would have been a $15.99 book. That's crazy for like a book this size. $15.99. It was $4.99 at this thrift shop. When was this published? Because that price feels like something that would have been a 20-year-old price. You know, this isn't a modern price. For a book this size, nah. 2011? That's actually, wow. This one's got that velvety touch. This is what I print my comics and like books with. It's called soft touch, and it's just, it almost makes me a little bit pukey. I've got this weird sensation thing when it comes to like certain textures. Like I get kind of a gag. It's weird. I'm not sure if anyone else has weird things like that, but this velvet touch is it's just on that border of like, it's gonna make me puke, but it feels so good. As long as I don't like do what I just did for a little bit, where I drag my hand, then I get a little bit like, I get the sensory kind of overload that makes me pukey. I don't know. It's weird. All right, I'm weird. I accept it. It's fine. It's okay. I was eyeing these books, and these are the ones that I was lining up on a shelf because I was having a really hard time to know if I had books I needed in order to start from the beginning. I do not. I did not, but I had to make sure I was going to crest over that $50 mark. So I ended up getting this beast right here. Terry Brooks, The Heritage of Shannara. Now, I remember back in high school, so this would have been 30 years ago. Okay, 30 years ago is what people were reading in the 90s. Was Terry Brooks. It was the Shannara series. The Sword of Shannara was coming up a lot. And then it's the Elf Song of Shannara. I could just look in here. But I remember there being like a lot of books, like 7 books back in my day. We got the Sword of Shannara, the Elf Stones of Shannara, the Wish Song of Shannara. There we go. And then we got this one here, which is the Heritage of Shannara. Because I remember there being 7 books. And so this one's got 4 books included in it. We got the Scions of Shannara, the Druid of Shannara, the Elf Queen of Shannara, and the Talismans of Shannara. Oh, here's my receipt that I need to like look at to see how much all of this costs and do the math. So there you go. Look at the beast. This is 4 novels, man. So it's a big ass tome. Now, of course, like the sleeve itself is frayed. It's got some pretty, I mean, I wouldn't say completely terrible damage, but I mean, yeah, it's shredded here, shredded on this corner here. The pages have this cool quality to them. Like, I'm not sure what the printing process is to do this, but the pages aren't all flat. They're not all the same. They kind of have this like toothy thing. They're kind of, they just feel more parchmenty and old. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? They got this frayed edge to them. So it feels like it's damaged, but it's really not, because you look at the top here and it's flat. Everything's great, right? But it's just right here. They got this chop to them that makes it look, there we go. You see the teeth on this? Yeah, it just feels like it's all frayed. It's a cool kind of texture. 4 books and it's in the middle, unfortunately, but that's maybe a good thing because it means I don't put it on a reading list yet. I don't have to, because I still need to get the first 3 books. Now, I found 2 of the 3 books and they were crappy-ish conditions and they were paperbacks, and at this point I'm like, look at the spine on this thing. It looks nice, man. It looks nice. And you know what looks nicer is when you find another tome with the same from the same set, so that it looks nice. And now imagine if I had the 3rd one here, I could just put the boom and then bam, you know what I'm saying? I ended up finding the High Druid of Shannara trilogy. Look at that. And again, this one, this sleeve is a lot better quality. A lot, like it's relatively perfect, to be honest. You could probably pull this off. Yeah, like an Indigo or a whatever, wherever you go in your country for books. And again, it's got that toothy kind of edge to these pages on this side. It's like a perfect quality book, man. These are crazy. And the cover price on this sumbitch is $45, and I got it for 6. These and this one here was also, God, these are so heavy, I have to put these down. Yeah, that's more like it. We got a 35 American, 50 Canadian, but for some reason the Druids of Shannara, it's 40 US and 45 Canadian. So they brought down the price. 4 books, $3, almost the same size. In any case, this is effectively the 4th series. There's a lot of books in the Shannara series. So there's the first one, which is the Shannara series, and I did find the prelude, which is called First King of Shannara. It was a paperback though, and so I'm like, yeah, but is there like, does this exist for the first set? I stopped at Amazon. I have to check Amazon and just Wikipedias and stuff like that just to see how these collections work. But I want all the spines the same now. That's my problem. So I don't want to just buy a $50 book just to complete this collection. I can wait, because I'm going to hit a couple more thrift shops now, hunting these damn books down. So this is the 4th collection. I did find, so the 3rd collection is called The Voyage of Gerald Shannara. I don't know. Anyways, it's got the Isle Witch, the Anthrax, and the Morgor. I found Isle Witch and Morgor, and again, these were separate hardcovers, but I didn't find the one in the middle. So I was like, well, I didn't buy those. And then what if those also get released in this edition? I would rather get this edition, because now these look really nice. And it's a fantasy series that's relatively well known. These are chunky bastards that are a really hefty cover price, and I got for a crazy deal, $6 each. That's insane. Oh man, so just these 2 books alone would have been $100. Do you understand? And I got them for 10, but not really, because technically one of these might have been free, something like that. So here's the receipt I found that I shoved into one of the books so I wouldn't have lost it, and I'm gonna go through this and see if I actually got 2 of these books free. I mean, I could do this together with you right now. Yeah, I did. That's nuts, folks. That's nuts. So I'm looking at here, 20% off, and I get buy 4 get 1 free. I'm seeing a notation that popped up here. Like, did it actually zero it out though? It did. That's crazy. It did. And I have a second book that zeroed out. Yay! So we bought 11 books. I got 2 of them for free, and then we got 20% off. That was a hell of a deal. Buy 4 books get 1 free, so I saved $7.98. 20% off a donor coupon, so I got $10 off for a total of $17 off this haul, and I paid $40.86. I'm going to show you what the cover price was on all of these And you're gonna see that right here, and that's how much I actually saved. Now, would I have bought all of these books if they weren't at the thrift shop? I mean, the Sword of Shannara, I probably would have collected the Sword of Shannara series. I probably would have collected that one. This is a book where if I saw it in a bookstore, and this is why I stopped going to bookstores, just naturally. I can't go in them because I will always leave with stuff I don't need to buy. In any case, would I have bought this? Maybe. If I saw these names on the cover and I was wandering through the bookstore, I would have bought this one. Yes, I probably would have bought the Walking Dead book, and the fact that this is pretty much in a perfect condition is crazy. I would like to collect the Christopher Moore series, specifically these covers, so I'm actually really happy that I got this, and I'm going to start hunting down Christopher Moore books at the thrift shops because I feel like maybe a couple more will pop up there. Will I have bought Blood Meridian because of all the booktubers out there, you bastards? Because you're going to increase my TBR, and I'm so out of control right now. Anyways, but I would not have bought this, and the Road, I'll probably hunt down the Road now as well, because Cormac McCarthy keeps coming up as one of the best writers out there that are on people's top lists. So I would have bought that new. Would I have bought Abraham Vampire Hunter 15-20 years ago? Yes. This was definitely something I was going to hunt down after reading Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, because I thought it was amusing. I thought it was silly, and then the movie came out, and I was like, I didn't go see it, which is weird because maybe I wanted to read the book first, so now I got the book. So there you go. Would I bought that? Probably at some point. Would I have bought these 3 books? Maybe not for me, but for my niece at some point. She's a big reader now. She's in Sarah J. Maas mode. Is that the right name? I'm so unfamiliar. And then of course Black Company was an absolute buy. This was an absolute buy, and I still might buy the other ones new because this one's relatively new, and so they'll still sit nice on the shelf together, and they're all this design right here, this cover. Now, are they hardcover as well? I'm not sure, but I'd buy the soft cover. I think these are easier to read, and they're probably cheaper than the hardcover. And so of course, oh my god, did I just see a bunch of writing in here? I would have torn this thing in half. Oh, they're just illustrations. Never mind. It's fine. So there you go. So that's the thing. There might be one book in all of this that I might not have bought. So I'm gonna put it back up here. So I actually saved that much money. That's a crazy haul. I mean, I will do this again. Why would I not? I still have to organize my shelves. I did bring back a box finally. The Full Metal Alchemist and my Attack on Titan collection, thank God, is finally in the house. Still missing some novel collections that I know I have. And on that side of the room, it's chaos in this little room right here. You're just seeing what maybe seems sensible behind me, but it's just books are everywhere. I need to think about, am I buying new shelves? Am I putting them in different rooms? Am I splitting this stuff up? I got books everywhere in different. Anyways, the point is, I'm going to go to thrift shops to buy more books now. Even though this is not organized yet. It's okay. It's okay. Both sides of my feet killing me right now because I was standing in that thrift shop and wandering around and kneeling down and just for 3 hours, man. That was silly. How many people do that kind of crap? And I figured, why not? I'm gonna go and chill in Valley Village after over 20 years of not being there, and just checking out books and seeing what I can find, seeing what I can haul up to $50 plus, so I can get all these awesome deals, which I did. I would do it again, but I don't think any of the thrift shop around me are as good as the one that I went to. But if I find anything, of course, I'll bring it back. I'll showcase it here. Showcases a little bit about my personality based on the books that I bring back, and I'll give you a little bit of story as to why. Yeah, and lets people know what my interests are in case you have suggestions of things I should keep my eyes open for. Let me know down below. And is this anything people do out there? Do you all hit thrift shops, and are used bookstores like that much cheaper nowadays? I feel like the ones around here the prices just aren't worth it. It's like they're lower than a new book, but they're used books. For me, I'm not gonna pay $5 or $10 for a book if I can buy one for 10 or 20. Like, what am I trying to say? I pay double for the book if it's like mint, you know what I mean, as opposed to getting it used. I just feel like it needs to be like, I don't know, 20% of the book price is how I kind of see it. I mean, some of these were like, Jesus, 10% of the book price, right? So like, god damn, that was a good haul. Anyways, I'm derailing. Let me know if there's any kind of series that I have to keep in mind. Is there anything on the stack that you've read that you think are good and you have opinions about? Please let me know so I can consider them in future TBRs. And until then, I'm just gonna dive into some more books. I'm getting into it. So I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, buddy. Peace.